Anytime I evaluate my life or myself, I pretty much always feel like I'm coming up short. Whether it be with my kids and all the things that I see that I want to be doing, the way I want to be leading in my house and in my life, and all the places where I know, or at least I feel like I'm coming up short. I mean, truthfully, if I sit down and think about it, I don't know that there's been a time in my life since maybe I was a teenager that I didn't feel like the list of things that I could be and should be doing better was infinitely larger than the list of things that I'm actually doing well right now. But as I was praying this morning, the Lord reminded me of something. Now, the account of someone who is working is credited not on the ground of grace, but on the ground of what is owed to him. However, in the case of the one who is not working, but rather trusting in him who makes ungodly people righteous, his trust is credited to him as righteousness. Now, there's a whole thing I could speak on here about credit and righteousness, but that's not actually what the Lord showed me. What he reminded me of is I'm still looking at my life through the lens of the ledger. How many things am I doing that meet the standard that I want to be at, or in some cases, the standard that I feel like I should be at in relationship with Him? And how many places am I missing the mark? But in the economy of grace, there is no list of actions. There's just, did I trust God or did I not trust God? And when we understand this, the method that we go about reaching these places that we want to get to, because it's not that I don't believe that God desires for me to be the best husband that I can possibly be, or the best father that I can possibly be, or the best of any of the other things that that He has for me to do in this life. But the way in which I get there, that's the important part. Did I arrive there by measuring all of the what I perceive as the rights and all of the wrongs? Or did I get there by every day getting into a place like this and just getting before the Lord and asking Him, Lord, like these are the areas that I want to improve in. Make me into the person that is able to do that. Because that's what it says. It says right here, but rather is trusting Him who makes ungodly people righteous. God is the one that makes us whole. We can't make ourselves whole. There's no amount of striving or effort that I'm going to put in to get my ledger to balance, to get to the place where I wake up and I feel like today I did more good than harm. Because the line of what is possible, the height of what is attainable is so incredibly high that there will always be a deficit somewhere. There will always be a place where I fall short in this flesh, because there's only so much time in the day. There's only so much energy. There's only so much me. But if I measure my day on how much did I trust the Lord today? How much did I walk in trust with you today? That's something different. That's a place where I can come to the end of the day and I can say, today, I trusted you more than I didn't. And the reason that I can say that is that my ability to trust Him does not originate in me. It originates in the Spirit that's in me. And so when I abide in the Spirit, when I continue to identify with the Spirit, then my ability to trust Him more than not on any given day is present. And that's the truth that we have to remember, that when we are born again, the only thing that counts is, did we trust Him today or did we not? That's it. Everything else, all of the good and all of the bad, there's no credit for any of that. None of it goes on the ledger. What I did well and what I did poorly, none of it goes on the ledger, because that's how it works. Anything that I do in trust is counted as trust or credited as trust. Anything I do that's outside of trust doesn't count for anything, because the only thing that counts in the life of a born-again believer, the only thing that is credited towards one's account as righteousness, is trust. And man, you guys, when you get that, there is such an incredible peace that comes, because it calms all of the striving, whether it be religious striving or fleshly striving. It doesn't matter, because the thing is that as believers, we can get into religious striving just as easily as we can into the striving for the matters of the material world. We can just as easily shift that gear over and get into striving towards being this whatever version of a believer that we think we should be. We can just as much get into striving in what we'll call the moral lane as we do in the material lane. But in all of this striving, the only place it takes us to is either self-righteousness or self-deprecation. There's no positive outcome, because when a person is striving in their own strength, doing anything in their own strength, outside of trust, you're getting credit for both the good and the bad. And in this realm, in this flesh, we will always come up impossibly short. We're fighting a battle that not only can we not win, but it doesn't even produce in us anything of value. You know, I'm reminded here of the story of Martha and Mary, and Jesus visits their house. And, Martha, I think, genuinely wanting to honor the Lord. I mean, she recognized like the Lord God is at her house. And so she's serving, and she's busy about the house, trying to make sure that everything is taken care of and that he's being attended to. And Mary is just sitting at his feet. And eventually Martha gets frustrated, and she says, Lord, do you not see that my sister is just sitting here and letting me do all the work? And Jesus answers, he says, Martha, you are fretting and worrying about many things, but there is one thing that is essential. And Mary has chosen the right thing, and it will not be taken away from her. Martha was working. Mary was sitting at the feet of Jesus and trusting.